Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be my self-tan routine. I'm basically going to be showing you guys all the products I personally like to use to self-tan and to get that bronzy glow. I'm also going to share with you guys how I personally like to apply it and kind of just share with you my tips and tricks, even though they're pretty standard. But if you are new to self-tanners, hopefully you find this helpful, or if you're just looking to try out a new self-tanner, hopefully I can help you out with that as well. I'm very excited because I feel like self-tanning has come a long way in the past couple of years, which I'm very grateful for. The reason I personally self-tan is it boosts my confidence immensely. It's incredible. I personally just love it for that. But also I'm very fair naturally, so I love self-tanning because I end up matching a lot more of my foundations, which sounds really weird, but like, it's true, and I like that part. I also dance, so I don't want to really look transparent on stage, and so I like tanning for that and for photo shoots. And the last and most important reason that I personally use self-tanner is the fact that I don't really like exposing my skin to the sun. I'm really scared of like skin damage and skin cancer, and also I've never been in a tanning bed. I know that that's great if you want like an all-over base tan or certain things, but I've always just resorted to self-tanners because they work really well for me, and I find that it's not really worth the risk, if that makes sense. So I love that there is an option for this that is not the sun. And that's my little background as to why I personally like to use self-tanners. What is your reason and what is your favorite product? Leave them in the comments down below. And of course, if you are new to this channel and you're new to seeing my videos, definitely subscribe and turn on post notifications to get notified every single time I post a new video, which is once a week as of right now. And let's jump into the video, shall we? I'm definitely already getting sweaty, so that's really cool. I'm gonna start off by sharing with you guys all of my favorite products, and I'm gonna actually start at the, most subtle and then work my way up. So the first category is gradual tanners, and I have two to share with you guys. This one is from St.Tropez. This is the gradual tan in the watermelon infusion. This is really great, and it actually gets you quite a bit darker. This just goes on like a clear lotion. It smells like watermelon. It's delicious. It's super hydrating. I love using this on my legs when I want to kind of touch up my tan. If it's been like 4 or 5 days since I did do like a darker self-tanner, this is great to boost that color and to keep your legs and your tan hydrated, which is very important. And I just really like this, especially if you are looking for something that'll give you a little bit of a glow, but you're not interested in something that's going to give you a ton of color. My only tip with this is obviously wash your hands after if you are applying with just your hands, because you will get tanner in your little finger crevices, in which case I did because I used this last night. So that's the first one. Next product is actually new to me. I've only tried it a couple times, but this is the Loving Tan Deluxe Gradual Tan in the shade Dark. I was a little skeptical about this product because Loving Tan has another product. It's like the bronzing shimmer that I'm not the biggest fan of, but this is quite different. This goes on dark, which is different from the St.Tropez one that goes on white and you just massage it in. This one does have a tint to it, but I really liked it. I found it super hydrating, and I also found that it gave you quite a dark color. So depending on if you want, I think the mousse gets you a little bit darker, but this definitely gives you a substantial color, which I was kind of surprised about. So I really like it. The watermelon one obviously smells really great, and this one kind of just has a regular self-tan smell. It's not horrible. I personally don't like I personally don't have any problem with the smell of self-tanner. I'm kind of weird that way. Some people really hate the smell of self-tanner, but I'm not particular. So it doesn't have a strong scent by any means, but it definitely does get you quite dark, which I was very surprised about. If you're looking for a product that's going to be super hydrating, give you a little bit of color, but not be too intense, and also just really easy to apply, definitely recommend this one. And it's, again, just really good for touching up your tan when it's starting to fade. The next product is something you guys have heard me talk about a million times, so I apologize, but it truly is one of the best tanning products I've ever used. And this is the St.Tropez Self Tan Purity Face Mist. It's the bronzing water face mist, and this is a gradual self-tanner for your face. You can apply it to your bare face after a moisturizer or cleansing, or you can use it to set your makeup if you want a really subtle glow. But this tans your face in a couple hours, and it gives you such a nice, healthy, natural glow. It smells like tropical juice. It's amazing. It lasts you an amazing amount of time as well. It's such a good product, and I'm so happy that they came out with this. I believe they came out with this for last spring and summer, and I've been using it absolutely ever since. I cannot live without it. And the way I like to apply this is actually spraying it downward on my face in kind of like 6 sections. That's how I was told to use a product from someone that works for St.Tropez. And yeah, you just spray it downwards and then just let it dry, and then I typically apply it after cleansing, and then I let it sit once I've sprayed it, and then put on moisturizer and all that kind of stuff after. And then in a couple hours your face is super glowy and a little bit bronzed, and It's really great. You can also use this to spray on your hands if you maybe want to miss that part when you're self-tanning or your tan's starting to fade or it's like a little patchy. You can use this to spray on your neck or your feet or pretty much anywhere. It's really great, super versatile, and just so delicious. Moving up the ladder in darkness, the next product is from St.Tropez. This is their Bronzing Water Mousse. This is from the same purity collection as the face mist. It smells like tropical fruits. It's amazing, and it goes on clear. So this is not going to stain your sheets or your clothing, which is incredible because you can throw it on in the morning and then wear a summer dress that's like crisp white and nothing is going to transfer, which is amazing. It shows up in like 3 hours, I think, possibly more, but it's so great. It gets you quite dark, surprisingly. You do have to be a little bit more careful when you are using this just because it does glow on clear and you can't really tell where you've put it. You have to be kind of careful and blend it out really well. But for a self-tanner, this is like magic in a bottle if you don't want stuff to transfer onto your clothing and if you still want like a super dark tan. This is one of my favorite products to bring when I travel because it can't leak on anything. If it does spill, it's not going to turn all my clothes brown. It's just going to be clear. So great for touching up a tan and everything. I cannot recommend this product enough. It is so good and it smells amazing. So if you hate self-tanner smells, you'll love this product. And then they also recently came out with this one, which is the Bronzing Water Gel. So this one's a little bit more moisturizing. So if you have a drier skin kind of on your body, I would probably recommend this one. I like to use this one on my legs and then this one on my body sometimes just to add that extra hydration. This one says that you get a natural looking glow in 3 hours, which I think is pretty true. They do start to show up quite fast, and I love the scent of these. They're so good. I personally prefer the mousse probably over the gel as of right now, just because I've used this a lot more, but both are really great products, and this one is definitely more hydrating for sure. So they get you pretty much the same amount of darkness. I would honestly say this one probably gets me a little bit darker, even though this one claims to get you darker, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've just been using this one a lot more, and it's pure magic, both of them. This whole line is just like crazy and blows my mind, and I'm so happy that they came out with products like this. Moving on to Loving Tan now. These are the products that I turn to when I want a tan that's going to last, something that's going to get me super dark if I'm going on vacation or something, or if I'm going to be doing a dance show, because these ones do hold up really well in sweat, to be honest. But I just really like their products. I don't hate the smell. I actually kind of enjoy it. And the first one is their Deluxe Bronzing Mousse in Dark. So this is one of the first products that I tried from them. This is a regular tanning mousse, so you leave this on for 8 hours. I would typically apply this at night after I've exfoliated and showered, and then I put this on, sleep with it, and then rinse it off in the morning. Gets you to a really nice color. Looks like you've been on a vacation. Love it. And then one of my favorite products that I actually would probably choose over that one is the 2 Hour Express in Dark. So this is just the 2 Hour Express Deluxe Bronzing Mousse. I do the exact same process with this. Even though you can like put this on, wear it for 2 hours, and then rinse it off, I personally would put this on, sleep with it on, and then rinse it off just because I find it gets me darker. I really love the color that this one gets me, and typically when I go on a trip, this is the one that I will choose to wear the night before I fly out. So love that one. And the last one I have from Loving Tan is their Deluxe Bronzing Mousse in Ultra Dark. This is by far my darkest self-tanner. This gets me to a shade I would only dream of getting to with the sun. It is amazing if you want something that's super dark and having people be like, did you just get back from Mexico? And you're like, no, I did not, but thank you. This is the product that I applied actually 4 nights ago, and I did a full dance show where I've literally never sweat so much in my entire life than I did during that show, and the tan held up incredibly well. I'm still like quite tan, and I've had multiple showers, washed my hair, all of that since then, and it's held up really well. So I'm very impressed. This typically lasts like a solid week, and then I can go in and touch up with other products and stuff, but I love this. This is, again, just something I would apply before I go on a trip. If you're looking to be like hella dark for summer, it's this one. You need to try this one. I was a little scared at first to try this one because I had previously thought that I was super dark already with those ones, and I'm like, let's try it. Let's go ultra dark. And I did, and I'm very happy I did. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this one. Moving now on to a couple other things I quickly wanted to mention. The first one is by St.Tropez. This is a tan remover, which is very interesting. I've only tried it a handful of times, so I can't really give you a full opinion, but if you're the kind of person that gets spray tans or you tan and you just want it to come off, there's a product for that. I am the kind of person that kind of just touches up my tan as I go. I never really scrub it completely off, which is probably really bad, but that's just the way I live my life. But if you are the kind of person that wants to completely remove a tan, there's a product for that. And of course, to apply self-tanner, you are going to need a applicator mitt. I personally love the Deluxe applicator mitt from Loving Tan. It's probably my favorite because it's very soft, very velvety, and it applies all self-tanners really nicely and smoothly without streaking. St.Tropez also makes one, but it's not my favorite, but it's more accessible, so that's a good one too. They also, Loving Tan and St.Tropez both have a tan removing glove now, so this is an exfoliating glove. I do love this for like my ankles and my elbows and like things, you know, when it starts to look a little streaky and patchy, I like to scrub it off. So my neck, my arms, for some reason like this part of my arm always gets like really patchy, so I scrub that too, but both brands make scrubbies like that. So highly recommend both of those products if you are venturing into the self-tanning world, and if you don't have a scrubby little mitt, you should get one. They're great. Now let's move into how I personally like to apply my self-tanner. I always apply my self-tanner at night after I've showered, typically after I've done like a full body shower, I've shaved everything, I've done my exfoliator mitt, or any other like product exfoliator I want to, make sure everything's smooth and crisp, dry myself off, and then I start at my legs. And I typically like to apply in an upward motion depending on what product I'm using. That's pretty much how I do it. I just sweep it up with the applicator mitt, pump it out, sweep it up, that whole thing, make sure you cover everything. And to be honest, in the winter, if I know I'm not going to be showing anything but my arms and my chest and my head, if I'm not showing my legs or my stomach or my back, I'm not going to waste self-tanner on it, let's be real. But in the summertime, I'm definitely going to hit those areas. And if you're wondering how I tan my back, I kindly call Cody into the bathroom to tan my back, and he's gotten really good at it. So huge thank you to him for doing that. I think Loving Tan has an applicator for the back, but I'm not quite sure. So there's also just some really talented people out there that can like reach their back, which is very impressive. So yeah, you make do with your situation, if that makes sense. And then after my legs, I move on to my stomach. I kind of just start at the bottom and work my way up and spreading it. One of the areas that I always have trouble with are my wrists. They always get a little bit darker than I would intend to. So I kind of just, you know, try my best. I like to also sweep the product up on my hand and keep my hands in kind of like a webbed position like this to get the product on. Always wash my hands after, even if I don't get any product on it. And then I go on to my neck, and I usually like to just stop at my jawline and my neck. I do like to focus and make sure I get my ears and behind my ears, because sometimes I miss that part, and obviously my back, the back of my neck. Another part that you have to make sure you get is your armpits. Another little random thing, if you guys get laser hair removal on your underarms, make sure you don't apply self-tanner under there at least 2 weeks prior to your appointment, because that can affect the laser, and sometimes they can't even do it if you have self-tanner under there. I learned that the hard way. So just avoid your armpits, it's fine. Go and live your life with white armpits. Nothing bad happens, it's cool. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you're looking to self-tan, but you also get laser hair removal, be aware of that. Yeah, I also, another little trick that I learned with self-tanner is also to contour a little bit. So obviously I use my face mist quite often, but with the little bit of product left on my mitt, I will go over and do my top of my forehead, my cheekbone, and kind of my nose area. Anywhere that I would naturally contour my face with bronzer, I like to hit those areas with self-tanner just a little bit to define them a little bit more. And of course, I like to make sure I get the top of my ears as well. So that is pretty much my process. Hopefully that was kind of helpful. I don't know, probably wasn't, but that's how I like to apply my self-tanner. And one last thing I wanted to mention before we end off today's video is that none of the products I mentioned and none of the products for self-tanning that I'm personally aware of have SPF in them. So if you are going outside in the sun, please make sure you wear SPF as well. You want to protect your skin, even though you do have like a base tan, you definitely still need to wear SPF. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you do have any questions at all about any of the products or any of the things I talked about in today's video, please leave them down below. I would love to answer your questions. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, maybe learned something new or just found it interesting. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.